What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Witcher 2 Arena mode, and like I was saying before, we are continuing right from where we left off last time because there is no save.
You're a tempest, Witcher. A thunderclap and hailstorm combined.
There's no saving in this game mode, which also means that I left this on overnight, and so therefore, it is more relevant than ever, in all likelihood, that, you know, this could very well end, this whole mini-series, with an abrupt, well, just ending, if the game does, in fact, decide to crash. So, if that does happen, then you know what it was. But anyways, I don't think that we actually checked what this next round was going to be, so let's take a look here. Oh. Ruxa, which is a kind of wraith, or rather, a kind of vampire, I should say. 2 wraiths, 2 zombie swordsmen. I don't recognize zombie swordsmen unless, well, okay, maybe. In, what would that be? I guess at various points in Chapter 2, those potentially showed up. And then in terms of rewards, boots. I forget. We were going back and forth as to whether or not we wanted to upgrade boots earlier, and I don't remember if we ultimately ended up doing that or not. Wraith Trophy, Yellow Meteorite Sword. That looks pretty good. I feel like I need to actually remind myself of what we have in terms of current gear, so one moment here while I back out for a second. And we did, in the previous round, pick up an armor enhancement. Now, granted, that is a one-time use thing, and once you use it, you can't switch which type of armor you apply it to. So that means that if we decide to apply it to our Astrogarus's armor, then we can't later remove it and apply it to a different set of armor. So for that reason, I feel like we might want to hold off a little bit before using that runic armor enhancement until we are more certain that we have a piece of armor that we're going to want to use longer term. But as for our other gear and what is in most need of an upgrade, I do see that our silver sword has more base damage than our steel sword at the moment, so maybe a steel sword upgrade might be worthwhile. That is one of the things that we saw as a potential option. Boots, okay, so we have not upgraded our boots at all yet. So we don't have any armor on the boots as things currently stand. We only have 1% resistance to incineration, so that seems like that could be an awfully good idea to improve that. Otherwise, the other options were a trophy with 6 damage. That is a ton. But our current trophy, I think, has something like 5 armor, and I think that defensively, that's going to be pretty darn important. So I think I'm definitely leaning toward the boots at this point, because it's been a while where we have not had any armor on the boot slot, and that is the only real gaping hole that we had in our current setup. Now, I don't really know how tough this round is going to be, but let's give it a shot. Alright, again, I'm going to lead off an early Quen. Okay, that is the type of zombie swordsman that I was expecting we might run into. So Ruxa should be the most difficult enemy here. I would expect. And so for that reason, let's try not walking into the fire. That would probably help. We didn't get hit there, although I really thought that we did. Oh, okay, the game crashed. Maybe? Nope. Nope. Hold on. It just tabbed out for some unexplained reason. For some reason, we're not dead. Don't ask me how or why. Somehow it happened. Okay, we are hanging on in that case. I guess we didn't get hit. Somehow. So I'm waiting for our vigor to come back. It did. Then I will do this and try to dash out of the way so we don't get immediately hit thereafter. Ruxa right there. That is the most difficult enemy we have in this round. At least I believe that to be the case. Didn't get hit there. That was good. So it'd be nice to take care of you. Then again, let's not get too greedy there because we did take some damage. Where is everybody? Don't have full vigor yet. Now we do. People are rather close to us. That might not have been the best time to do that, but we did sneak in. Quick. When? To Jordan. try to... Excuse me? You just swung your sword at us even though you were very clearly yurted. I object. She did not get stunned at all. Oh, uh-oh. And Ruxa got smart there and actually cut us off our little plan here, but we do have full vigor. Do that.
Fight, you lazy bastard!
One moment. I actually don't know if it's faster for us to continue rolling or not. Okay, we did lose our sign there, and I actually didn't attack the enemy that got Yurden. I don't actually know if enemies that have the Yurden trap on them take more damage or not. It might be a thing. At times it seems like that has been the case, but I could be wrong. We have the right sign selected, but we need a little bit of time in which to actually get it off. I think this will be it. Now let's move, though. Ruxa actually does have a fair bit of damage on it. I think it's a good sign. We have definitely done a fair bit of damage splitting, though. Like, that was not the enemy that I meant to hit. For example, that is also not the sign that I want right now. That might have been bad timing there. Okay, got a little greedy there and opted not to use a Yurden. Just saw what looked like a little bit of an opportunity to sneak in a bit of damage. We have full vigor, so I will put Gwen on when we next have the chance. Oop, hold on. Still have it. Oh, wow. He actually didn't get hit there. I'm very surprised. He did there. Yeah, so switching it up a little bit and not relying exclusively on Yurden set us up for some hits. As for whether or not that is proving to be a successful strategy or not, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see.
I swear those hits have been bloody sick!
Love to get one of you taken care of. Unfortunately, didn't quite pull that off there. You have full vigor again. So, anything we can do to not split our damage between the different enemies, because we are basically just doing a little bit of damage to you, a little bit of damage to you, but not actually finishing anyone off. Like right there, I was trying to hit Ruxa. Okay, one wraith down. So that's a start. Several more that are relatively close. Okay, zombie swordsman down. Shield still up, surprisingly. Okay, shield down now. Did manage to get in a little bit of extra damage though, so that's nice. I would love to get rid of the Ruxa. That'd be amazing. Not great timing there. Oh, wait. Oh, I assumed we got hit. Apparently we didn't. Get there, even though it looked like less of it. Oh, wow. Okay, well, you did hit us with a follow-up there, so that was not good. And I missed there. Oh, and you got me with the poker. Alright, so this does definitely seem doable. Getting a little sloppy toward the end here. Tempted. Try to do this with Ruxa, finish it off. Don't necessarily think that was successful in achieving that goal, but could be one hit away if we could just like deliberately target you. Oh, and if you didn't dodge me like that, that would help too. Okay. Zombie dude down. Just you remaining. What do I want to do to you? Maybe a little bit of that. Again, you dodging me, I don't like it. We technically may be able to get killed with just one hit. So we definitely want to make sure that we have our Quen sign up. And for that reason, I'm going to hold off getting into this combat until we do that.
One more time! One more time! One more time!
And let's do this, I think. Against one enemy should be a good strategy, I think. if it doesn't decide that it wants to completely ignore Gwen. That should finish you off. There we go. Slow, but kind of sort of effective. A little bit. So, yeah, I think 1 armor is not fantastic, but given how we have nothing on our armor slot right now, there's little opportunity cost here. We're not getting rid of anything good to equip this, whereas that is sort of what would happen if we were to apply the Wraith Trophy. Yellow Meteorite Sword would be nice, but I think we can hold out, and it seems like we're getting sword upgrades fairly often, whereas we're not getting a boot upgrade on every single round, so I think let's guarantee that we get that. And then with the level, have we now completed the tutorial-ish part of the tree? Not quite. We do still need to get arrow redirection, and then we can branch out elsewhere. So I think we take this. It does technically give us a mutagen slot. I don't remember if we ended up taking one of those. I don't think we did, but we have seen some rounds where that has been a reward option. Sitting on 1,600 orns.
Provided you can afford a profession.
Which may mean there could be some half-decent stuff here. Let's also sell... Oh, no, hold on. Let's not sell those boots. Every time we look at the sell window before we actually equip our upgraded gear. Oh, and did I equip the right ones? I think I did. Yeah, okay. And we nearly sold the stuff that we meant to equip. So, yeah. Sell the worn ones that are junk. We'll hold on to the runic armor enhancement, but let's take a quick peek at any other things that we might be able to purchase. And it seems like for the most part, it's upgrades to existing gear. You don't actually get any new gear unless you call traps, explosives, things that fall under that category. Throwing knives, I think, were on that list as well. Things we could get. Nothing like primary steel or silver weapon, no chest plates, pants, or boots, or gauntlets. Okay, so I think I'm going to continue to pass on employing these people until it seems like we absolutely need them, because every round in which we can save up additional orns, I think, will pay off. Because eventually it may be that we need to just buy a whole boatload of throwing weapons to bail ourselves out for a difficult round. Oh. And this could be it. Because it looks like in the past, the Kingslayer round was going to be the end of things for us. They were really difficult. It was, what, 2 Kingslayers and 1 mage? And the Kingslayer, to this point, I think has still been the highest damage enemy we've gone against. An elite Kingslayer? Doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. Now, ooh, okay. Let's maybe, again, take a quick peek at what our existing gear is to see, like, should we be considering these pants? Or would it be better to take a steel sword upgrade? That is probably worth a little bit of further investigation. Our existing pant... Oh, we don't have any trouser upgrades. I'm sorry, the trousers, not pants. Such a better word, trousers. So that is, much like the boots we were looking at earlier, pretty much a useless inventory spot at the moment. Yeah, 5% resistance to incineration is something, but 0 armor on that slot is a pretty gaping hole, again, in our gear. So I think probably do want to seize that opportunity to get an upgrade there, but this is going to be a tough one. Make no mistake. The only plus side I can see is that because the last time we faced Kingslayers, there were the 2 Kingslayers and there was the mage, it was a little bit trickier from a crowd control standpoint to manage them. Whereas this time around, if we... trying to also think of what strategy we use. I think if we use Yurden to trap some of them, ideally the normal Kingslayer, take him out early, then it's just a 1v1 that should probably put us in the best position to succeed here. But it's going to be tough. Definitely going to be very tough. I don't know how much more difficult an elite Kingslayer is than a normal Kingslayer. We're about to find out. Because, yep, we are probably about to die already. That is any indication. We did get incinerated. I don't know if that's because we got knocked into the fire, or What the heck is that guy doing? He had something stuck on his foot. Yes, here's the Elite Kingslayer. Part of what makes them difficult... Oh, he throws fireballs. Okay, so he's like a mage and a Kingslayer all in one, it would appear. So, I take that back about crowd control being easier this time around. That may not be the case, because the Elite Kingslayer is going to mix things up a bit. Oh, he can use Ard as well, so he has access to all signs, basically. That's not good. Alright, so this is a bad idea. I'm gonna do it. Because we don't have any sign juice. He's not at the moment, so yeah, he can do any and all signs, it would appear. Haven't seen him use Jurden yet, but I would assume that that is still a possibility. Now, ideally, we would sneak up on you and get some hits in, but that's easier said than done, and you have that ridiculous combo that deals boatloads of damage. So, yeah, this could very well be the end of the line for us. Okay, it does seem that the Elite Kingslayer, from a sword swinging standpoint, does the same type of combo, just a little bit longer, a little bit slower, I should say, than the normal Kingslayer does. Which, if anything, I think might be a good thing. But the signs, I did not expect that. Okay, explosives as well. He's basically a mini Witcher. I suppose, now the Kingslayers were sort of a group of Witchers. That does make some sense. Oh, we don't have any vigor, which is a problem. This is a problem. I mean, already it looks like, you know, we are not in a great position to succeed here. Oh, we have quite up, that's why we aren't getting any bigger back. That is about to change. Ideally, we'd wait it out slightly longer so we get a little more vigor back, because we won't get any vigor regeneration when we have Ard up. Or Quen up, rather. That's an explosive that you hit your friend with. As for whether that actually deals damage, I'm not sure if we have established or not. That is the way in which we ought to be dealing damage to the Kingslayer. We did, of course, just lose our Quen, so we are in bad shape now. One hit and we are probably dead. Mostly scouting this one out, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work against these guys, and figuring out what this whole Elite Kingslayer business really means. Yep, like you did hit us there, and it did cause bleeds, so this may be the end of us right now. That certainly could be. So, we don't have any vigor with which to do anything here. So this is not good. Certainly one hit from death now. Don't have the Quen up yet. I am waiting, but we might not have the margin for error to do that right now. Once again, hitting your friend with the traps, quite frankly, might actually be... Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Didn't realize we lost our Quen, but apparently we did, and then we got Arded in the back, and we are dead. Okay. So let's keep going. And let's see. So, trying to strategize here as to how we might be able to combat these guys. So, of course, would be nice if we had a steel sword upgrade right about now. Yes, of course, we did pass on one of those, but yeah, are potentially still ways to up our damage if we were to, say, buy a rune, which I think would be pretty darn expensive, from the trader guy. That's probably not something that's worth investing in a not-so-great sword with. So, I think the blade oils are probably less expensive, but for similar effect. Let's take a look at those. I think this also might be a scenario in which we would consider using some of the other people, fighters that we can have tag along beside us. Vitality is the cheapest one, that type of rune, and I'm not really sure that's going to make a huge difference here. Otherwise, could purchase some explosives. They are not cheap either. Actually, let's do a more direct price comparison here. So, cheapest rune is 250. But if we actually want to get ones that give us damage, we gotta go at least into the 300 range, and then we're still only talking about damage to signs. Have to go all the way up to 375 or 500 before we're actually getting through damage on our swords. Like I said, I think that's going to be better to hold off with that stuff until we get a sword that we anticipate that we will be using for the foreseeable future, which I don't think is currently the case. So instead, I think we might be better off doing things like purchasing potions that are comparatively way cheaper. It just costs 26 orange. That seems like a huge bargain. Increases vitality while reducing damage dealt. Oh, minus 30%. I don't think we can do that. All resistances, reducing chance of causing critical effects. That might be okay. Assuming we aren't relying too heavily on that. I don't remember ever seeing this potion. 10% increased armor. Limits loss of vigor when carrying. Expensive damage dealt. Oh. It reduces vitality, though? And damage dealt? I don't see anything that says reduce damage dealt, but that sounds like a pretty steep penalty. This is definitely a good idea. It's cheap. No downsides at all. Vigor regeneration. I mean, it mostly just affects how quickly we can get our Quen back up when we get hit. So limiting the amount of time we need to roll out of the way, which hasn't always been an issue. It just is a question of patience more than anything. However, this time around, I do think it matters because there is the Elite Kingslayer who can use the Ard or Igni signs to deal damage to us even when we're rolling, which is actually what finished us off. So, I think that is worth picking up. Likewise, on the Swallow for some vitality regeneration, also very inexpensive. I think we give that a shot. Yeah, we cannot reduce vitality by 50%. We will not do that. Damage dealt to swords, however, that does sound good. So, like, this is kind of what I was thinking could be an alternative to using the runes. Costs a 10th, maybe even a 20th of the price, depending on which rune you're talking about. And for 10% damage, I don't... Well, actually, I think that's even more than at least one rune would have given us, so yes, absolutely better. I think you can only use one at a time, presumably, whereas the runes you can stack, in some cases, up to 3 on one item. But, that's not going to be relevant on this occasion, I do not think. So, we could try going in there with just those potions active and see if that makes a difference. Tempted to go that route. I assume that if we use the potions now and we fail in this round, that it will basically take us back in time to before we enter that fight, and that we will still have those potions available to us. But if not, and those potions are truly just a one-time thing that can only be in effect for a single round, then we might be in trouble. Then I could understand why they're significantly less expensive, and you could start to make a case for not taking those and instead doing things like picking up permanent upgrades like the runes. Or, more likely, if things don't go well, I think we might resort to...
No easy task killing a Witcher.
Getting a hired hand. So, let's give this a shot. I'm assuming that we need to meditate and consume those potions now. now I'm second-guessing myself as to whether that might decrease the probability of us being able to still have access to those potions after we're done with this round. I don't know. So this might actually be a little bit more of an all or nothing than I originally anticipated. Granted, I think these were, what, like 26 orens apiece, which is still not terrible if we do end up using all of them and do not succeed. We could still give that another shot, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, but obviously not something that we want to continue to do and blow through all of our orens and then suddenly make it so that we can't do anything like hire a friend. I suppose might also be something that only lasts for one round, regardless of whether or not you succeed. So I don't know. We're gonna experiment a little bit here. Drinking up the potions, and we're gonna give it a go. Strategy-wise, aside from that, I think I'm not sure how much else we can change because, yeah, it's gonna be, I think, mostly the Urdens that are going to allow us to deal the damage. It's just that we need to be more mindful of the elite Kingslayer hitting us with the signs and how that could, again, take down our Quen, our shield, more often than we would have anticipated. Alright, so let's hop in. Elite Kingslayer, let's go. And now let's throw on the Quen. I assume that we cannot mind control any of them with Axie. We might have tried doing that. That was greedy of me. I did start attacking, even though I did not have Quen on. I would very much prefer if it were not you. Excuse me. Who got hit with the Yrden. Now, granted, you did have a shield on as well, which means you didn't even take damage from the Yrden. So I suppose that does also make sense as to why you didn't get trapped by it. I do not like the way you're following me right now. I need some time to get my Quen on. And ideally, not in a way that's going to make you immediately take it off again. However, if you continue to hit your friend with your signs, that would be helpful. And then, you try to seize opportunities like that. Jump in for some damage. Okay. That is more damage than I expected us to be able to deal with the Kingslayer, normal Kingslayer. But we are vulnerable now. We are burning and taking a whole bunch of damage from that. We do have some vitality regeneration, which is kind of sort of saving us right now. That's the weak Kingslayer, which does mean he can do that, because we're vulnerable right now. Which means we need to get this back on immediately. And fortunately, he did miss that sign there, but it was close. Now, it would be great if we could get in a little bit of damage on the normal Kingslayer, because he is close to going down. Easier said than done, though. Oh, I wanted to drop the sign there, but apparently I messed up. No! That was our opportunity, and we missed it, because the weak Kingslayer was helping out his friend. Okay. Okay, narrowly avoided whatever that guy was about to do to us. Drop that. Get out of the way. Okay. Did lose our sign again. So as much as I wanted to follow up for Killing Blow on the normal Kingslayer, didn't feel as though we had that luxury. Oh, we don't have any. I was about to try to hit him with an Igni. Finish him off that way. Did not succeed. And he blocked there. I got a little greedy. We really need an additional vigor here so that we can follow up with another sign beyond just the Quen. have that now. We need a little bit of space to get it off, though, so we don't immediately lose it thereafter. Hey, we didn't. We didn't. Hey, gotta roll. Gotta roll. It was, of all things, it was a sign, an art sign that knocked us down. Okay. Now, we could go with the Yrden, but I think Igni is actually the way to go to do that. Normal Kingslayer down. Now, it is truly a 1v1. We do still have our own Quen sign up. Oh, and you moved ours, which means we are vulnerable. Okay, he Qen'd up. Remember, he can do that too. Can only hope that ours lasts longer than his. Didn't get all of our vigor back there, unfortunately. How dare you? Also, how dare you? Please come this way. And walk through this. I need you to walk through your... No! That was not what you were supposed to do. Although you did still get stunned, but... not really what I was looking for. We need to wait for our Quen to expire, which will happen in a few seconds, and then get some vigor back. So we can put it back on, but still have room for some additional signage in addition to that. Is sort of the case now. Ideally, we would wait till we get all the way up to 3 like this.
Come on, Wayward! Come on!
He does have a little bit of damage on him, but not a lot. Get out of the way there. I do still think the Yrden is the way to go, assuming that he does not immediately thereafter do that. That's the problem. Now, could we do something? No, that's not what I wanted. We just wasted one of our signs, or one of our vigors, I should say. I wanted to hit him with an Igni. Okay, fortunately, he did still step on that. Now let's get some distance between us. Try to take this moment to get some vigor back. Was expecting him to try to throw some signs from a distance. But we do still have Quen up, that's why we weren't getting any back. Okay, so now it is expired. So now we have the option of getting some back if we wait it out a bit. And I think the potions have been doing us a lot of favors, because you can see we're back at full HP right now. Didn't quite go where I expected you to go there, and you also were quicker than I expected you to be there. And there. That did still hit us. We lost the Quen. I got greedy because I wanted to try to see if we could still throw it. Okay, hold on, that's headed our way. See if we could still get some damage done there. That's not really going to do anything to you, even if that happens. We do still have Quen on, so I mean, theoretically, we could jump in here and get hit deliberately so that we can get the vigor coming back. So we have done that now, which means we can go back to Quen. I do not like walking in this direction for whatever reason. I prefer going in the other direction more. Okay, so he has a Quen on of his own, so ideally we would wait on the Yrden till, like, right about now. Encourage you to walk this way, follow up with some of this. That was, I think, the most damage we've dealt thus far. No! Okay, I didn't want you to do that, though. Because you can still, of course, walk on here, but we won't be able to do anything to you. So it is unfortunate. We still have Quen on, so we are not regenerating any vigor. So we can't do much of anything at the moment without taking a risk. So I think we wait it out for a couple more seconds here, wait for it to expire, which it just did. Now we can get vigor back, but we are vulnerable. We're running out of time on the potions. I think that for the most part, they have served their purpose already. allowing us to take down the normal Kingslayer, turning this into the 1v1 we were looking for. Okay, do not put on a Quen. Just do not put on a Quen. Oh, come on! Come on! And then we stepped into the fire, took a little bit of damage there. We got knocked back, or he got knocked back further than I expected, which meant that we could not follow up for additional damage, which was very disappointing. We want to wait for his Quen to wear off. Yep, before we do this. He's gonna do that, and he will hit us. Except he didn't deal damage for some reason. He is insanely tanky. I mean, we're getting pretty serious hits in here. And still not doing much. Okay, so now we need to wait it out a bit here. Get our vigor back. Really only done, I think, like a third of his HP damage. Maybe. Even that is, perhaps. Yeah, that was terrible timing. Just terrible on so many levels. Got rid of our shield. Then he put on his own shield. So that he's not going to take damage or get stunned when he walks through this Uridan, unless we wait it out a little bit, which we have successfully done here. We walk back into that. I'm not sure if we did or not. Okay, excuse me, sir. Please walk this way. Allow us to wail on you. That is the important thing that I need you to allow us to do, and stop doing that. Like 40-ish% AP down now. Let's head it our way as well. Okay. Wait for his Quen to wear off. Fortunately, he does have a low duration. Wait for him to do that. Excuse me, sir! You just ignored it! Why are you allowed to just ignore it? That makes no sense. That's just not supposed to happen. Okay, so now we wait for his Quen to wear off, which it has done. We need some time to get off the Uridan, though. We don't really have right now. No, don't do that. Okay, hold on. Try to wait it out here. Give him a little bit of time. We'll hide him a bit. Hope that the shield of his wears off. It did just now. Now, if he just comes back this way without shielding, that would be ideal, but we need to get over there quickly so we can do this. I swear, this guy is healing or something. Okay, now we need to get out of there. So our potions have expired. As I said, though, I think for the most part, they've served their purpose. We're no longer at full HP, but we're doing much better than I would have expected at this point. Okay, do not put a shield on. Do not put a shield on. No! Okay, again, we waited out a little bit here. Try to get you to the point where shield wears off, and then soon thereafter, have you step on this. Oh, come on! And then you put the shield on before you step on the Uridan. You just will not make this easy move. This guy is absurd. Now our Uridan has expired because reasons. It has a duration, yes. This guy does not want to go down. I swear, this guy is more difficult than basically any boss. I mean, I have one in mind I can think of who's similar to this guy. You can probably guess who it is. But even then, that would have been a fight we would have done solo. Okay, now Quen is worn off. It's kind of what I wanted to happen, so that we could get some vigor back. Have done that now. The problem is that now we don't have the margin for error that we once had, where Once we take damage, it is basically final at this point. There's no regeneration that we're gonna have. The timing is horrendous again. Hits us with his knockback move as soon as we lay down our offensive move, making it so that we cannot hit him with our attack. We even took damage because he followed it immediately thereafter with an explosive. Can potentially still get him to stand here, take some damage. And it wears off as soon as he steps on it. Oh my god. We are so unlucky. Where'd he go? That's not a good sign that he has disappeared on me. He's blending into the background. There he is. Put on the shield. Again, we want that to wear off so that we can drop the Yrden and still have it do something to him. Should be pretty soon. This does have a short duration. Yep. He just gets one hit before he can block again. Oh my god. How are you supposed to fight this guy?
Maximus!
Okay. Did that hit us? It did.
Fight, you lazy bastard!
Well, and he puts the shield on, so the Yrden that we just threw is not going to do anything, so now we need to cut him again. Ah! Come on, dude! You are not making this easy. You just ignored it! You attacked even though you got Yrden! What the heck? The rules just don't apply to this guy. He's doing something. We obviously don't have a shield on at the moment. I know that. We do have full vigor. I'm just looking for enough of a window in which to get it back up. Usually the fire does provide that. Do not shield. Work for that. Oh my god, you did all the above. Through the shield. Try to knock us back. Or well, trying to knock us back through the explosive. Then put on a shield of your own. Somehow didn't hit us with that. Or that. Walk onto the trap, please. Okay. Back it up. Our shield is about to expire. It has expired. One hit and we are probably dead. We need some space to get another shield off. Also, yes, that did hit us. Inopportune timing. Okay, now we're waiting for his shield to expire. And we will follow up with another attack. Obviously, there must be a better way to fight this guy. Only thing I can think of is that we are using zero throwing weapons. Like there! He just ignored it! He ignored the Yrden! If you defy all rules of the game, then how am I supposed to fight you? I see that coming. I see that coming. Like there, you pretty much ignored that one too. Got a little bit clever there, probably too clever for our own good. And tried to follow up with some attacks. Where we don't have a shield on right now, so we are vulnerable. He is very close to us. Okay, he's over here. He's vulnerable. I think we do that and hope that he does not follow up. We do still have a vigor, which I chose to use on an Igni. We had not done that in the past. I wanted to do it to get rid of his shield, but I don't think his Igni works exactly the way that ours does. It's not like it goes, or his Quen rather, works exactly the way that ours does. It's not as if he loses it as soon as he takes damage. It is purely duration based. I don't know where he is right now. I hate you for doing that as soon as I drop the Yrden. Please lose the shield so that I can send you back this way. Are you serious? As soon as it goes down, he throws down another one. This is going to expire. That timing was very fortunate. Ooh. Okay, our plan is about to expire, which means we need some vigor back. We do have one, so we could put it back on, but that would mean we don't have any room for offensive signs, which is potentially problematic. Okay. Just attacking here. Let's throw this on and hope he doesn't shield. He's going to shield. Okay, so now we kite. Now we kite a little bit, trying not to have him go over the Yrden just yet. Now he should be losing the shield soon. Yup. Please charge forward. Yup. I wanted to do more, obviously. I wanted to do more, but I didn't want to get greedy. We are about to lose Quen, so I think we have to prioritize that over direct damage in this instance. As much as I want to try to do that here, I think patience is still key. Wait till we get up to 3. We are up to 3 now. Now we drop this. Hope he does not shield. That is the biggest combo we've ever gotten against him, for sure. We did just lose our shield, though. No. Last thing I wanted to do there. He is close. I am, of course, waiting until we get to triple. He did not hit us with that, fortunately. He did hit us with that, though. So I will put this back on to stay safe. And wait it out a little bit, try to kite him here until his shield wears off, and then have him walk over this, hoping that he does not shield up immediately thereafter. Uh-oh. No, get out of there. Okay, now we are in a situation where we do not have any vigor. We need to wait for our Quen to expire before that can start happening again. So we're on the move in that case. And then try to follow up. Same strategy. Probably Yrden. Wait until we're at this fire pit. And then we will apply it. He is close, and he immediately removed it. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Okay. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to sneak in a quick attack immediately thereafter, which would have been the end in all likelihood. Okay, now we need you to walk through here without shielding. Without shielding, yep. We did it! Oh my god, I didn't think it could be done. Somehow. I hate that guy. In case that wasn't apparent, I hate fighting the Kingslayers. They broke so many rules, ignoring the Yrdens, using signs immediately thereafter, so it's not like they have a bigger restriction. So I'm very happy to be done with that round. And I think we do take the pants here, because we don't have any, or trousers, I should say, I'm sorry. Because we don't have any armor on our existing pair of pants. So let's go that route. And just breathe a sigh of relief. Breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, and now I believe we have access to either the magic side of the tree, swordsmanship side of the tree, or even the alchemy side of the tree. Because we have now taken at least one of everything from the training area, which is key, because that does mean that we can now get what normally you would probably consider to be stronger skills. Like, having the ability to counter an opponent's blows would be amazing, given how that has been one of the problems, is we can barely deal any damage at all to enemies that block, like the Kingslayers, so this would be a way to potentially counter them much better than what we've been doing in the past. Additional dodge distance, I mean, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that we've been doing a lot of rolling, just to stay out of harm's way, so getting some additional dodge distance would make it easier to separate ourselves from the opponents, give ourselves more time to put on the Quen and set up Urdens and things of that sort. Otherwise, over here, we can get some sign damage. Yeah, we haven't been using signs offensively too often. Getting Ard leveled up. I'm not even sure if I tried doing this in the campaign, so I'm not sure what this really does, other than just giving us additional range. Axie for the mind control. I don't think we've used it at all. I'm not sure if it's going to apply to many of the enemies that we encounter here. So, I think, in all likelihood, what we're looking for is probably the riposte, or this. Even reduced damage when we get hit from behind would not be a bad thing. But yeah, let's go for riposte, I think. Okay, and then chance of insta-kill by counterattack plus 10% would be the next upgrade. Not sure we'd end up going that route, or if we'd end up going for the other things in the sword side. So we do now have access to a lot. Oh, and also I'm pretty sure there was a vitality upgrade we could have gotten here. 20 is decent at this level. Long term, that's not a bunch, but short term, when we're pretty squishy, not a bad idea. But anyways, I think that, given how long that round took, I think this is actually a good place for us to wrap up here. So thank you all for watching. Again, I have no idea when this mini-series here is going to end, but maybe I'll see you in the next one, if there is a next one. So I'll catch you then.